Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello young friends, welcome to this live interactive class of BISEC. I'm going to speak on a very interesting topic of commercial communication. As you can find from the screen, the topic is organizational communication. Friends, as we know, communication is the flesh and blood of any organization. Not only organization, if we have to interact every day with so many of people, so many of organizations, we have to exchange the views, we have to get response, we have to get feedback, we have to see that whatever we want to share reaches the other party in a proper manner. So that is communication, and we need not go for the details how it works and how it should work. The formality of the communication is very simple. I would go for a simple definition which every one of us is quite familiar with. If we ask what is communication, then a very simple kind of definition is available from a very well-known writer and master of communication, Peter Little. You can read from the slide, friends. Communication is a process by which information is transmitted between individuals and public or organizations so that response results. Now friends, there are so many things involved in the process. Number one, as you can see from the screen, it is a process. It is not a kind of a short-term activity. It is a long-term process which involves so many of things before it ends. So it is a process in which something is to be transmitted, generally information. It may be transmitted from one individual to another, one organization to the other, one individual to the organization, or vice versa. So friends, the ultimate aim is given that a response should result. That is communication, friends. Now when we think of the organizational communication, it involves the same process, but there are a couple of things which must be borne in mind when we think of this topic. Simply because it is quite formal kind of communication which involves a lot of formality. It is not just like a home or the communication between two friends which generally follows no rules. When it comes to organization, when it comes to some commercial body, when it comes to the business firms, a certain norm is to be followed, and that is why it is different from the most informal kind of communication. When we think of communication with friends, maybe our brother or sister or other relatives, we generally take for granted most of the norms. What we take into account is just decency. But when it comes to organization, a lot of norms are involved, and one is supposed to follow all these norms. Unless you follow the norms, then there are a lot of problems which may hamper the process of communication. So friends, we must bear in mind when we think of communication in organizations that it is not a kind of ordinary kind of communication, but it involves a lot of decency, a lot many rules, and it must be followed by all the parties, maybe the receiver, maybe the sender. So it may be organization to organization, it may be from organization to the person or individual, it may be from the person or individual to the organization. Whatever the channel is, whatever the process or movement of communication is, we must bear in mind it must follow proper norms. That is the first requirement of organizational communication. If we are talking with our friends and if we are talking with our principal of the college, then I think we understand the difference between the two communications. When we are talking with a friend or maybe a brother or sister, then we are very casual. We take the things for granted. We are not as much serious. As against this, friends, when we are talking about with someone who is senior, who is the chief of the organization, we take all care that the seriousness is always there. We must follow the norms, especially decency, especially the behavior, and the way we present. It is not a casual thing. So we always take extra care when we are talking or we are communicating in terms of the organizational communication. Friends, now let us move to other side. Let me show you how organizational communication works. There may be plenty of movements of communication in organization. I have taken into consideration four major kinds of movements of communication, which are the prime area of my lecture. Movement of communication in any organization may be: number one, if you can better see the screen, upward communication; number two, downward communication; number three, diagonal communication; and number four is grapevine. Apart from these major and general, most commonly found communication channels, there may be some more methods of communication also. But when we think of organizational communication, friends, this type of movements, that is upward and downward, they are most prominent, very common, and most widely used methods of communication. Grapevine and diagonal methods of communications are very much there, but I would like to concentrate on the first one and the second one, and if time permits I may go also for the grapevine, which is very casual. So it is in sharp contrast that the first three are most casual kind, most important kind of communication movements. As compared to them, grapevine is very uncommon, very unique kind of communication. Then again, it plays a vital role. Now friends, if we think of the communication in organization, we must take into account the hierarchy. I think at our homes also, we follow certain norms, though they are not clearly mentioned, but they come over to us by traditions. Friends, when we think of the hierarchy in the organization, then there are some layers of responsibilities. There are some authorities, and there are some who are responsible for execution. Friends, in this hierarchy, the topmost position is held by the chairman and the MD. I have just mentioned you in the slide, friends. You can see to the slides. Chairman and managing director, that is MD, they are part of board of directors. But the board of directors never comes across the daily affairs of the company or organization. All work is done either by the chairman or managing director, more so by the managing director himself. So these are the topmost authorities in the hierarchy. They are supreme authority, and everyone has to follow what they order the others. So that is the topmost position, that is the topmost level, which is the starting point or end point of communication. Followed by them is, you can see in the slide, CEO or general manager. Friends, let me tell you at the outset that this hierarchy is a kind of pyramid, or whatever they say in South India, the Gopuram method of hierarchy. So at the topmost level, there are very fewer persons. At the bottom level, you find number of people. So at the top, it is a kind of triangular in which the top is a single point, whereas the base is so wide. You can see in the slide also, friends, chairman is always one person, managing director is also one person, and both are the topmost position. They hold the topmost position, and they are followed by the chief executive officer, that is CEO, or the general manager, who look after the daily affairs of the company. Any organization you go, you find not the chairman and the director who are holding chair each and every day. As against them is the CEO and the general manager, who are responsible for the daily affairs of any organizations. Friends, so CEO, I have clubbed these two things just to provide all the details in a single slide. So chairman come managing director, they are part of board of directors, but to avoid the space and for the shortage of space, I have clubbed them into one. And same thing is with the chief executive officer, that is CEO, and the general manager, I have clubbed. Now followed by this general manager are the managers. The managers hold a supreme position in a particular department. Friends, we know that the organization has so many departments. Any organization may be responsible for production, And if it is responsible for production, marketing is very much there. Marketing is there, so accounting is also there, purchase department is also there, and established department is also there. Friends, all of us are quite familiar with this type of various departments. These are the specimens of some of the departments. There may be plenty other departments also. So each department of any organization is headed by one single manager who is responsible for that particular department. Maybe sales, maybe purchase, maybe production, maybe establishment, maybe personal public relation, and so on and so forth. Friends, when we think of managers, they are responsible for their respective departments. It must means that there may be several departments, and thereby we can say that there may be several managers, and all these managers are responsible to one general manager. There may be some assistant general managers or deputy general managers, but in general they are responsible to the general manager. So in the slide you can see the CEO come GM, and they are followed by clerks and other workers and employees of the organization. Just for short of the space in the slide, I have just mentioned it as a specimen. I have shown the two arrows in the slide. You can see that one arrow which is in the left side, it moves from upside to down. So that movement of communication which flows from the top level, from chairman, from MD, and it moves towards downwards, that is towards the manager or clerks and subordinate staff. This type of movement is called, as you know, downward movement. As against that, if you can see the arrow on the right side, it shows the upward movement. It means there are some sort of communications which flow from the bottom side, that is clerks or sub staff. It moves to the managers, it then further moves to the general manager, and ultimately the end point is chairman or managing director. Friends, the movement is shown and it is quite clear what is upward movement and what is downward movement. So these are the two major sort of communications which take place every now and then in any organization. So better we can concentrate on this type of these two communications, that is upward communication and the downward communication. Now let us move to the each of them individually. First, I would like to talk about the upward communications. Friends, better see the simplest kind of definition which is available on the screen. Better you can take it down, and there may be some time for us for interactions. At that time also you can ask some questions. First, when we think of the upward communication, we must, I think, define it in simplest term. You can read in the screen, the definition is already given. It is a kind of specimen or definition. You can have a more sophisticated kind of definition also. Now, if we are asked what is upward communication, in the simplest term, we can say the communication channel that moves from the bottom level to the top level in any corporate hierarchy is called the upward movement, upward communication. Friends, the word upward itself suggests what way it would move. So naturally it would move from bottom level to the top level. So it is very important aspect of communication, and every now and then this type of communication takes place every day in any organization. Let us think of our college friends, because we are widely concerned with the college activity. If you have so many things to share with the higher authorities, maybe your faculty, maybe your principal, maybe the office assistants, and maybe the clerks over there, maybe the accountant, they are higher in terms of hierarchy. So you have to come across them. Similarly, they also have to come across you, all the students, to communicate something. Maybe it kind of a kind of notice of examination. Maybe it may be a kind of instruction for filling up the forms. Maybe a kind of information regarding the scholarship. You want to know something about the dates of examination. What you do is you go to the clerks or the faculty or the principal, and you get the information. So this type of activity takes place in the college. Same way in any organization, when we think of organization, it is obviously the business organization. This type of movement of communication takes place. So the communication which starts from the bottom level and moves upward, that is called the upward communication. Friends, now let us go for the next slide and see what happens in the upward communication. The same thing you can relate to your college. When we think of some suggestion, when you have some request, when you have some complaints, when you have some demands, what you do is you see your higher authorities. The principal never requests, the principal never suggests, the principal orders. But the student have to request, they have to make suggestions, they may have to make complaints, they may have to make some demands. So this type of communication takes place from the bottom level and it moves up to the higher level. So generally the type of communication which happens in any upward communication, friends, may be in the form of requests, maybe it can be the form of suggestions, it may be complaints, it may be demands. There may be several more points which may be covered under the upward communication, but it is suffice to say that when we think of upward communication, generally it is in the form of requests, suggestions, complaints and demands. It is very easy to remember because it is always the bottom level who will have to send some request, maybe for the leave, maybe for some recess extension, maybe for other kind of things. It may be a suggestion, maybe for the improvement of the working facilities, maybe in terms of parking facilities. It may be complaints regarding, say for example, complaints regarding the air conditioning is not working, maybe a kind of complaint regarding the parking facilities. It may be demands, and when we think of demands, it must be pay hike. This is quite obvious, friends. So these are the things which start from the bottom level and it moves upward. That is why it is known as the upward communication. When there are demands, when there are complaints, when there are suggestions, when there are requests, they generally start from the bottom level.